Hey folks, I am Becky with Enduring Finances. Welcome to my channel. Today we are taking a look back on the goals that I set for myself for the month of January, as well as how I followed my budget and the goals that I set for myself for the coming month of February 2024. So let's go ahead and jump into how I did on my goals for the month of January. Needless to say, for looking at this, I did not do very well. I didn't get all of my programmed workouts set in because therapy was really hard this month. I had some brutal sessions that really took a physical and mental and emotional toll that it was hard just to do anything. So I did not get all my workouts in. I technically went on one photograph trip. I wanted to go to Utah, that was my goal, but the weather did not permit this, but I was still able to get in a very short local photography trip. So I'm going to say that we got that one. I did not iron out my photography business ideas for this year. That was my goal. Therapy and life just happened, so that is going to be pushed to this next month. I didn't save $100 for house projects or for taxes or for my new photography equipment just because I was struggling to get out of bed sometimes. So that's how we did not do very well for this month. As far as goals that I have for February, we're going to carry along most of the goals that we set for January. So we're going to do all of my programmed workouts. We are a few months away from my first triathlon ever. We've got a long ways to go there. I want to go on one social outing. I'm pushing myself to get out there and meet new people. I want to iron out the photo business ideas that I have for this year. Save $100 for house projects, $100 for my taxes, and $100 for my new photography equipment. I will not be doing my taxes until next month in March just because I'm waiting for my dividend and stock portfolio information to come in, and that does not come in until the end of February typically, and they usually have at least one correction. So I pushed off my taxes until March, but these are my goals for February. We're gonna be doing okay. Like, I feel like even though I didn't hit all of my goals or all of my workouts, I have made leaps and bounds as far as my mental and emotional health. So I'm just really proud of myself on what I did there, and that's really hard to quantify. So to be able to say, like, I feel really good about it is fantastic. Let's go ahead and get into the nit and grit of my budget. And this is something that I started tracking. Like, I've always had a budget for as long as I can remember, but we started doing a budget update a couple of years ago, and I quite like it, and I think it shows people a different side to what you can do and what you can look for as far as finances and budgeting and what I'm spending on things. So let's go ahead and take a look at my personal expenses. So we can see, first off, again, my biggest expense is going to be my mortgage, coming in at $1,305. Car insurance, $59.52. Bi-monthly trash, we paid $46.43 for that. Didn't owe anything for my sewer payments, and then my internet is split between personal and business expenses because I use it primarily for business, what we're doing right now. So we paid $9.60 for personal expenses on that. Didn't owe anything on water, and then electrical, we were lower than what I was estimating, coming in at $177.95, and everything in my house is off of electricity. I have no gas at all, so everything is electric, from my heating to my oven to everything. As far as groceries and all of that, let's jump over to my big breakdown. We went grocery shopping 4 different times, spending a total of $289.68. We are finally below that $300 mark. That is my goal for just right now, is just $300 a month on groceries, and I think we've slowly seen those prices decrease over time. I did get some pizza, just because pizza is a lot easier to eat when you don't want to do anything. So I spent $22.08 total on pizza this month. Woot woot. And then as far as gas, we are down below $3 a gallon. Finally, I'm so happy to see that. I just paid like $2.85 for it per gallon. So we filled up 3 different times because we did not do a lot of driving or work. And so we got $12.70 for my business credit down here just because of the additional income. I did do a little bit of driving at the beginning of January, but we ended up spending $66.29 of personal money on gas. And then as far as health and maintenance, we spent $400 doing counseling, 10 out of 10 would recommend to anybody. $20.65 for batteries for various things. And then $96.66 on undies and personal such stuff for me, bringing my total health and maintenance to $517.31. As far as fun and other, I did register for my first triathlon. We are doing the Spudman Triathlon in Burley, Idaho, July 27th. Mark that down on your calendars. I'm going to do an Olympic distance triathlon. I was lucky enough to be able to register for this because it closed in less than 15 minutes. All 2,200 spots were gone. So I registered 10 minutes after it opened on New Year's Day and got a slot, and no one else that I know of has gotten one yet. So, whew, we're lucky to do that. That cost me $150. I spent $13.74 on bike stuff, bought a new bike seat and types of stuff like that. And then $20.18 for the Women's Film Festival. I got a ticket to go and watch that in Boise, bringing my total fun and other to $183.92. And then, because I was looking for stuff for my bike and for swimming, I did a lot of thrift store shopping, and I found a lot of good things as far as Christmas gifts for next year, for the end of 2024, and birthday presents. And so I spent a lot of money on gifts, totaling $42.96 already, and I'm very excited with some of the things that I found. But that brings all of my personal expenses to a whopping $2,720.74. Some of this I was expecting, some of it I wasn't, but I needed to get stuff done there. So we spent about $52 more than I estimated for that, but that wraps up all of my personal expenses, coming in at just over $2,700. As far as business expenses, let's jump to that. So we can see that we have that internet split going on between personal and business. $50 goes towards internet from my business side. We didn't have to pay for network security, but I did spend $12.99 on enduring finances here. I started a new website, and this has to do with my triathlon. I started a new website, I started a new Instagram page, and a new YouTube page, where I am just documenting my experience of losing weight and training for my first triathlon, just to kind of show people what it looks like from that side. So feel free to check that out if you're interested in following along there, just because I don't want to overladen all of this budgeting and stuff with triathlon training. I will link to that channel here. Feel free to take a look-see and follow along as I get really vulnerable with showing my body at where I'm at and what it looks like to lose weight for really slowly over time. So that's what we're doing with that. As far as Holismus Photography, I did have $14 of marketing coming in. I scheduled this at the very beginning of December to work through, but it takes a little while for them to finite the details. So it came in just after the new year as far as paying that off. I owed $2.82 on Etsy fees, $29.39 of XA marketing, and then $11.70 for shipping products locally to people not local. So we spent a total of $57.91 on Holismus Photography, and then $12.70 for gas for additional income. So that rounds up to $133.60 spent on business expenses, far less than what I was estimating there, just because it was a lower month for me to get out and do things. As far as income, we saw $524.31 come in from my VA benefit. That is the fixed 2024 rate. That is not correct there. I earned $1,321.54 for my part-time pizza dough job, $500 from other, as we've already discussed. And then we jump into the breakdowns a little bit more. So I earned 13 cents from Enduring Finances, just ads on my website. I sold $12 worth of calendars, and then 10 cents in stock photography, bringing that total to $12.10. And then I continued to donate plasma. I earned $340 this month, $52 off of Lime Scooters, and then $160 off of Rover. And this was just a last minute sitting for a repeat client that I have. I'm bringing my total additional income to $552, bringing my total income between all of this to $2,910.08, meaning if we look down on my total income that we were over $55.74. So we were able to save $55 there. Not quite the $300 that I wanted to save as far as taxes and all the things with my goals, but I really needed to put the focus on making sure that I was good to go mentally and emotionally and working through things in therapy, and that is going to have a lot of benefits for the rest of my life. So I'm happy to pay extra money into that and not save as much right now because it will pay off 10 times fold in the future. So that is going to wrap up my budget and goals breakdown for January 2024. We are off to a good but rocky start to the new year. I am excited to see how I progress as far as training. I'm doing better than I thought I was for training for my triathlon, and I'm just really excited to see what happens this year. I think it's going to be a fantastic year, and I think a lot of things are going to come and just be really good. So I'm excited for this year. Hopefully you guys are having a great start to your year as well, and I will see you next time, guys. Bye.